Live from KTV in Reno, you're watching 2 News at 6:30.
It was just a moment of just speechlessness at the horror of what happened in Pittsburgh.
Local faith leaders are reacting to that tragic synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh and discuss security measures in their own places of worship. That tops 2 News at 6:30. Here in Reno, a local synagogue has also been dealing with some things like vandalism and hate speech recently. Thankfully, no violence, though. I'm Kristen Remington.
And I'm Landon Miller. Thank you for joining us tonight. And these types of crimes, along with shootings like the one in Pittsburgh, have forced some congregations to implement security measures over the years. Ryan Kennedy joins us now live in the newsroom. And Ryan, you know, it's a little hard to think that these kinds of attacks are happening in places of worship.
Yeah, you know, it's tough, Landon. It really is. As one local rabbi told me, the temple is meant to be a place to feel safe, not one to fear. So when acts of violence are taking place against faith-based communities, church leaders will do what they can to protect fellow worshipers.
Somebody did come by and saw that the poster took a close look at it and realized what it was.
Just a few weeks ago, anti-Semitic flyers were plastered to the exterior of Temple Emmanuel. In its place is now a poster that reads,
"The whole world is a narrow bridge. The key is not to be afraid."
The message is meant to lift the spirits of the congregation, as this Jewish synagogue has been the victim of hate crimes in the past. In the late 90s, a firebomb was thrown at the building's door. Then over the years, they've dealt with several cases of vandalism on the walls. You can see where some of that graffiti is now covered.
To the extent that they represent a larger movement are very much concerning to us.
That concern has led to action at Temple Emmanuel. On days of worship, a committee is in place to monitor potential threats, specifically ones similar to the deadly shooting in Pittsburgh that killed 11.
We have armed people in the congregation, and we have had that for quite some time now.
Other synagogues and even Christian churches around Reno also have security in place, but their efforts may often go unnoticed.
Most of them ex-police officers or active duty police officers. Nobody really knows who they are other than them, but we've been concerned for a long time.
Local faith-based leaders are certainly on edge in light of the events in Pittsburgh, but pastors and rabbis alike say with continued support and love from the community, they'll continue to fight against the violence of our world.
Our ethics are the same: compassion, justice, you know, the right to free practice of religion. We live in a democracy, and we hope that everyone has those same values. We share those values with all.
Tomorrow night at 5:30, the community is invited to a vigil that will be held at Temple Emmanuel to honor and remember the lives lost this weekend in Pittsburgh. Covering the big story live in the newsroom, Ryan Kennedy, 2 News.